Welcome to the Boxing Talk Show. Fair but firm. With the Hall of Fame boxing referee. I'm Joe Cortez. And co-host John Zamel for all of Las Vegas.
Come on, guys. Let's touch them up. Clean fight. I'm Joe Cortez. Fair but firm.
Well, welcome to the Fair but Firm Show here, Las Vegas, Nevada, entertainment, and of course, the boxing capital of the world. My co-host, John Zimmel. Joe Cortez here to talk to you a little bit about this past weekend's results in boxing. I know it's not a good day for boxing in the United Kingdom. You lost one of your top fighters out there, Amir Khan, who still to me is one of the heroes in boxing. I take my hat off to him for what he has given the whole world, not only the United Kingdom, but the whole world, a good time in boxing. He showed all his talents throughout his career. I had the honor of refereeing him one time against Michael Maidana from Argentina. And I can tell you that Amir Khan is a great person. And I felt so sad for him to lose that fight Saturday night because I thought maybe this would be the fight that could keep him there a little bit longer. But after watching the results and the way things went down, I think that Amir Khan should start thinking maybe of perhaps packing it in and go back to the drawing board and just say, you know, plan B, what else can I do in life? He can do so much as a commentator, maybe become one of the top promoters in Great Britain as well. What do you say about that, John?
I think, absolutely. He's got a great fan base. We all know that British fight fans love hearing from their fighters even after they've retired. I mean, it's an excellent opportunity for him. And whatever he chooses to do, he'll be great at because we all know he doesn't do anything halfway. I'd like to say that, you know, I'd like to thank him for an excellent career. I know that he's still going to keep fighting. He's definitely going to take at least one more payday. But this is kind of the end of him as a serious contender for any kind of belt. And so I'd like to address him and whoever and just say thank you for an incredible career. Thank you for always taking the biggest fights. Thank you for always being a champion in every sense of the word. And the boxing world would be better if more people had your mentality. And the fight world will miss you when you're gone, buddy. So thank you for – but it wasn't a great end to the fight for you this weekend, that's for sure.
Right, it wasn't. But we want to just tell you about Terence Crawford.
Let's talk about, the victor.
Now, he won. He's pound for pound, considered one of the best in the world. And according to my pound for pound list this week and the rest of ESPN, the whole team, we all felt like, for looking at the results, it looked like Lomachenko is still number one on the top.
You got him number one still?
Yeah, I got him number one, and I got Terence Crawford number two on my list. So Lomachenko is still one of the tough ones out there. And I think that, you know, with the win that Lomachenko had over Mikey Garcia the other day, he'd be one of the top ones in boxing. So I think that with what Crawford did the other night, and you compare it to his win compared to
Lomachenko versus Crawler?
Yeah, so I got to give the
Amir Khan's better than Crawler, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
They both fought British fighters, no offense to our UK fans. But they both beat up British fighters. Yeah. But, you know, Crawler is a hero fighter, and Amir Khan, he's not a lot higher.
Yeah.
But he's definitely, a better competition.
Yeah. Anyway, but the way I saw it, I'm still giving Lomachenko.
Loma did look more impressive.
Yeah, look more impressive. He's still at the top of my list right now. And it's amazing. With a fighter with only about 14 pro fights under his belt.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
He has all these fans around the world, worldwide, and they couldn't even mention his name before, Lomachenko. And now everybody knows who Lomachenko is.
Everybody knows who Lomachenko is. Yeah, that's what, having a championship pedigree, 2 Olympic gold medals and what, 397 amateur fights with only one loss. That's that pedigree will do that to you, even with only 14 fights.
Exactly. And just like Manny Pacquiao, nobody could say his name at the beginning, but he's a household name now. If you don't know Pacquiao, you must be under a rock someplace.
Yeah.
But Manny Pacquiao is also one of still up there in the welterweight division. They got him, rated up there.
He's the WBA regular champion, man.
Yeah.
Is he on your pound-for-pound list?
No, he's not. He's not on my pound-for-pound list, and I think that...
He was for a while.
Okay, my number...
Yeah, let's hear it. You start with 10. Start with 10.
Got Lomachenko. Well, let's go with number one. Okay. Lomachenko, Terence Crawford, Saul Canelo Alvarez, Errol Spence Jr.
4.
I got Deontay Wilder in there.
You got Deontay Wilder number 5?
Yeah. Gennady Golovkin. Number 7, Rugisai. Number 8, Anoye. Number 9, Mikey Garcia, and number 10, Anthony Joshua. So, that's my list, and like it or don't like it, I don't know. That's the way I saw it. But
I want to be clear before we go further into pound for pound list. They're my favorite thing in boxing because they're so subjective. But everybody's just different. If you have the same pound for pound list as I do, then you cheated off my sheet. That's just the way it is. So you're always going to have discrepancies with each other, and that's what makes it fun. And we're never going to find out because Inoue and Wilder are never going to fight each other. So you know what I mean? It's just kind of fun. That's the point of pound for pound lists. And I like that you just broke that down. I haven't seen one of your lists in a while, so that was cool.
Yeah, but I think that with Terence Crawford now, what's in line for him? You know, a good fight for him would be who? I mean, you could say, I wrote down one of my ideas, one of my dream fights for 2019 towards the end of this year. How about Crawford and Errol Spence Jr.? You know, that would be a good fight for around September, December, around there. It'd be a good fight. I mean, Errol Spence Jr. is probably considered the best pound for pound in the welterweight division.
He's probably the best welterweight. It's kind of funny when you say, you know, like that's how good that fight is. Because you're talking about a guy who could be number one in the world pound for pound, but might not be number one in his division.
Right.
I mean, that's how good those two are, and that's how good they are against each other. But let's get realistic. We're not getting that fight in September. We might get it next year if one of them can collect a couple belts. I think we see Errol Spence versus Sean Porter towards the end of this year, and I think Manny Pacquiao is going to fight Thurman. I think the winner of those two fights each other. Personally, I think Errol Spence comes out as the victor at the end of that. And then when he takes a look at Terence Crawford and says, look, I got 5 belts. You got, you know, for 3 belts. You got 1 belt. Let's unify this welterweight division. I think that's too enticing for Terence Crawford to pass up. Remember, he unified 140 just last year, you know, or a year and a half ago.
So all I can say, though, that, I mean, we got John Zimble here talking about these fights I can match up. Maybe John Zimble will become a matchmaker.
I would like to be a matchmaker.
I mean, he sounds pretty.
I'd like to be a matchmaker.
Pretty realistic on what he's saying. But I mean, that's the way.
But you're talking dream fights. There's nothing wrong with that. Man can dream.
That's it, man.
Fight fans, some days all we have is dreams. Otherwise, it's another.
Some guys dream their dreams and don't make it happen. That's the thing. You got to make things happen. You know, I think that in this world we have all these kind of fighters that really up and coming. There's so many young fighters too.
Ooh, we got the future of boxing on display this weekend, man.
Yeah, Teofimo Lopez, once again, proved that he's a dangerous contender in the lightweight division. He showed a knockout punch again. You know, he's got it all.
He's super versatile with his power, too, man.
His
last 3 fights, he did that big knockout against Mason Menard with the overhand right. Then he puts down Diego Magdaleno, a friend of the show, on this last fight with 2 big left hooks. And then now with a body punch to the left part of the abdomen there. I mean, he can finish you anywhere with either hand. He's incredibly impressive. He's got so much power at that division.
Yeah, we got a lot of talent in the young division. You got Ryan Garcia is another lightweight. Then you got Devin Haney, who's a
superstar in the making.
Yeah, I think Devin Haney is going to be one of the better ones of the whole bunch because
he very well could be.
Not because I represent him as an advisor on this team, but I honestly I've been in there with the best in the ring for many years, and I can see the talent. I can see the skills that he has, the sweet science of boxing.
I like that you addressed that you're like that, though, because you remember when Teddy Atlas, when he does his pound for pound list and he puts Gvozdyk, because it's his fighter, on the pound for pound list. You know, I think if Devin Haney starts creeping into pound for pound conversation, you'll always have to have that disclaimer.
Well,
you know, but there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you believe he's top 10, I mean, same thing with Teddy Atlas. Like, I mean, I don't think anyone else would have Gvozdyk in their top 10, but, you know, he sees him up close more than anyone, and there's nothing wrong with using your platform, but you got to be honest about it.
Well, you know, just like I had my opinion with Mikey Garcia when he fought Errol Spence, I thought Mikey Garcia.
Oof, you did.
I thought he had something maybe that nobody else can see, but that he saw, being that he was unified champion in 3 different weight classes.
Yeah, he was
undefeated. I said maybe he sees something that nobody else can see, and about how to beat Errol Spence. And it was just the opposite. I mean, Errol Spence walked through him in that particular fight, but I think that Mikey Garcia
120, 107 on one of those cards.
Yeah. Well, you know,
that was amazing.
But that's the way boxing is. Sometimes I may be an expert in boxing with all my years as a boxing analyst, but sometimes I strike out like anybody else.
Well, we all swing and miss sometimes,
you know,
man.
Some of the greatest baseball players, they get up there and Mickey Mantle, Jody Mantle, Babe Ruth, you name him. Barry Bonds, you strike out every so often.
More than every so often. It's baseball. 70% of the time they're swinging whiffs.
But you know what? But here we are talking about boxing. Sometimes we strike out. But you know what? I will admit I have made some mistakes in my predictions.
That's why we make predictions. We don't know. No one knows.
But I leave my ego out the door. I don't talk about that I'm the best or what I do. My opinion, my personal opinion, like anybody else. I'm human like anybody else.
And you're you know, a well-respected boxing expert, and that's why your opinion does matter, and that's why it is so exciting to watch.
But
now, we had a ton of fights this weekend, man, and we got to get to the one that, for the person that impressed me the most, if I got to be honest, I think Shakur Stevenson really showed us that he's ready for that next level. He came up with a big step up in weight class. You know, Top Rank did not want him to fight Christopher Diaz, and he pretty much shut him out every round. He looked outstanding.
Yeah, he's from Newark, New Jersey. He's 21 years of age, and he really has a lot of talent. And the commentators out there, and especially Andre Ward, said, you know,
Andre Ward's one of his advisors. He's one of his managers.
He's one of his advisors. He said, you know, this kid has got the talent. You know, just like I said about Devin Haney. You know, I can see the talent. They both have good talent. One day I'd like to see him against Devin Haney.
Oh, they're in the same. I mean, you know, they're there. Yeah. Shakur's a little smaller than a lot of those other guys.
He's a featherweight.
But yeah, he's a featherweight. But he's still young. He's very young, and he'll go up a little bit.
Yeah. Devin Haney's 19 and. He's a 135 pounder. He'll probably be stepping up to 140 in the very near future.
Yeah, he'll probably fight the bulk of his career at 147.
Yeah, he has a fight coming up later on in early spring, so let's see what date. Nothing's confirmed yet.
Nothing's confirmed, but everything he's done so far has been outstanding, so we're excited to see what he does next. Tiafimo, of course, impressed, like we talked about. But let's get to Felix Verdejo, because I know a lot of our fans, they follow you because you're the man when it comes to Puerto Rican boxing. You're the one that knows all the stuff. You write a column in Puerto Rico newspaper about boxing. So you followed Felix Verdejo's whole career from the very beginning when he was a prospect to the motorcycle crash. Then you were there when he lost at MSG a year prior. So what did you see out of him, and did you have more hope? Were you disappointed? How did he look to you?
I thought that he had he's on a comeback trail. He definitely looked like he had some skills coming back, his punching power. He fought Vasquez, an opponent that's very difficult. I mean, it had to fight for different angles. It made it difficult to get hit by Verdejo's punches. Verdejo's timing was off a little. I think that he should have been taking the step a little closer. And with the right hand, every time he threw the right hand, he was missing the target 95% of the time.
It was a lot of whiffs.
So so a lot of wind there. So you know, for a while there, I thought I was getting a hurricane hitting me around because there was so much wind going around me with all those punches he was throwing. He was missing a lot of punches, but he looked pretty impressive.
He looked fit and he looked confident in the ring. He looked like he belonged there.
He looked a little rusty compared. I mean, his last fight, he got stopped in his last fight, and when you
same stadium.
Yeah, when you come back from a TKO or a knockout, it's kind of hard for you to come back and
your feet
and be 100% the next fight. No, he got to work his way back up there. But I think that fight was the win was a vote of confidence for himself that he knows that I got it. Next time I look even better. That's what he'll do. They go back to the drawing board.
Oh yeah,
and he'll do much better.
But it inspired confidence in you, right? As a fan, I know as a Felix Verdejo fan myself, I felt more confident in what I saw. He never seemed really afraid of Vasquez's power, but he was able to make him pay when he was able to connect. He was a little wild with his punches, but I think he'll settle down. But the most important thing was his legs looked okay, you know, which was a lot of the worry after the motorcycle accident. Yeah. His leg looked okay, and his conditioning was as good as it's been since, you know, the Olympics.
And you know, talking about boxing and being a trainer, he changed trainers. He has his old trainer still in that corner. I saw him in the corner, Ricky. I mean, Bar Arum and many boxing experts around the world said they should get rid of his trainer, get a new trainer. He got somebody else in there to work with him at a different level.
He's got a new conditioning expert in there, I believe.
Yeah, okay. But, you know, he's got to go back to the drawing board and watch the mistakes he made Saturday night to correct himself, make himself look better. Now, I was pretty impressed with the corner of Vasquez. His wife is a trainer.
Oh, I remember. That was awesome.
Was his trainer. She was telling him, you got to go out there. You got to do this. Hit him like this, hit him like that. I said to myself, man, the way she's talking to him, I mean, this
better listen.
Yeah, man. Who's wearing the pants in the house?
Oh, my God. I know. Usually, it's not the professional fighter. I'll tell you something, though. No, that was exciting. You know, you see a lot of guys that show up for kind of showcase fights. They know what they're there for. It's not to say that they're not, you know, they don't plan on winning, but they're there for a paycheck. They know they're there to make the other guy look good. Brian Vasquez didn't show up to make anybody look good but himself. He showed up to be game. Yeah. You knew he wasn't there to get a paycheck and, you know, take a dive, so to speak, with his wife in the corner. Yeah. He was there to look good, and he actually was game. I mean, he looked good.
I tell you, I gave him all the credit in the world, and I give credit to his wife. Beautiful young lady, too, bilingual. She spoke very well during one of the interviews. And she's good for him. I think the guy still got something left. He's not finished yet.
Yeah, Vasquez wasn't. He's not a nobody.
I mean, he didn't take a pounding. He got beat, but he was competitive. You know, he stayed in there with him. So you got.
You know who else impressed me this weekend? It was on the other card. It was on the PBC card. Andy Ruiz Jr., who if you took a picture of Andy Ruiz Jr., you would say he looks like a Hispanic Bermain Stavern now. He's overweight and he doesn't look like a fighter. But going up against the big German from Hamburg, Alexander Dimitrenko, who looks like a tank. And he made Dimitrenko look like he'd never fought before. He couldn't hit anything. He maybe landed 20 punches the whole fight. Ruiz danced around him before eventually finishing him, and he looked impressive. I think he's in that mix in that top 10. When you're talking heavyweights, I think he's in that mix. He's in the conversation.
Wait. You said Andy Garcia?
Andy Ruiz.
Andrew Ruiz.
Andrew Ruiz
being
Jr.
Top contender, top 10 heavyweight? I don't think so.
I think he's in the conversation.
I don't think so. Not yet. He got
to.
I like to see a fighter fit. Look, play the part. You want to be a top contender. You got to play the role like, man, the guy got some physique. Mm-hmm. He's serious about his training. Just like Areola.
Oh, Chris Areola? Yeah, he was always overweight.
But the last fight, he looked pretty sharp. He looked his weight off. He looked sharp, looked better, and he's back. Now, talking about somebody being in the mix. I would say he's in the mix.
You think Areola's in the top 10 mix?
Yeah. Because you know what? Now that I'm talking about the heavyweight, oh, my God. Baby Miller.
Big Baby Miller.
What happened to you, brother? What happened? Now, he's a guy, they did a replacement. And I thought about Chris Areola being a good replacement for him, or Luis Ortiz.
Yeah, Luis Ortiz, I don't think they're going to take it. They said that it's a little short notice.
But we got to talk about Baby Miller. What the heck happened there, John?
He failed 3 different drug tests for 3 different substances, Joe. Now, we've been critical of fighters in the past, be them Povetkin, Canelo, whoever they might be who have failed drug tests. But we've never seen this. We've never, as long as we've done this show, had somebody fail 3 different tests for 3 different. He wasn't even trying to pass these tests, Joe. You hear these stories about guys that they take this or that, and then they'll they can beat the test by a catheter or whatever it is. He wasn't even trying, Joe. Someone said that they accidentally found blood. They found traces of blood in his steroid system. I mean, that was unbelievable. The guy had he had no wherewithal. All he had to do was not get caught taking drugs, and he makes $6 million. That's all he had to do.
Well, now it's going to be a sad thing for him and for the sport of boxing. We hate to see somebody get yanked out of a fight because he didn't pass the drug test. And that's another black eye for boxing. These guys got to respect the sport and respect themselves. And, here he is now, $6 million payday goes down the drain. So what happened? I mean, come on, are you kidding me? Are you guys, anybody out there watching, you fighters out there watching, learn from these guys' mistakes. Don't let that happen to you. If you're a cheater, you always will be a cheater. You got to cut it out and do it the right way. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and say to myself, I did it the right way. I became champion. I was clean. I won the fight because I was clean. I did it. Then you walk around with pride. But when you start cheating with the drugs, you know what? You never be a champion.
One of the things he got caught for was human growth hormone. He's 314 pounds. How much more growth does that man need?
Well, I don't know.
He's about as grown as a person can be, Joe.
Well, I don't know. All I can say is it's bad for boxing. I'm sorry, but Baby Miller, you got to get yourself back on track. If you have the potential, you have the skills, use those skills, but use them the right way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, well, let's go on to the next topic because I don't like talking about these guys.
Drug cheats, yeah, I agree with you. What about, let's talk about Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granados.
Well, yeah, Danny, he still got, something left. He's still one of the top contenders in the welterweight division. We all know the welterweight division is very
stacked.
It's a hotbed of boxing, the welterweight division. You got Keith Thurman, you got Sean Porter, Errol Spence Jr. You have
Terrence Crawford.
Errol Spence Jr.
With Terrence Crawford.
Terrence Crawford, and
you got a ton of guys. I mean, those are just the champions.
Keith Thurman, and you got champions out there, good ones out there. I want to see what's going to happen before the end of the year. Who's going to fight who, And I can still say that I like Errol Spence Jr. against Crawford. Hopefully by the end of the year, if it doesn't happen this year, for sure it'll happen next year.
I think we can get it in 2020. I think we can get it. I mean, we know how Arum is. He likes to keep everything in-house, and that's not an indictment on him. It's just he likes to keep most of his fights against, top rank versus top rank. But the welterweight well is dry when it comes to top rank. They kind of got nobody. I mean, who was he going to fight the last fight? Jose Benavidez Jr. was who he fought the last fight? I mean, he's got kind of nobody in his stable. And the problem with that is you're gonna eventually, people are not gonna tune in if you're fighting him up against nobodies. And so eventually we're gonna have to see that fight, but they're gonna have to build. We know how this works. And Bob Arum knows how this works. He was half of the promotional team for the most profitable fight in history. They marinated Mayweather versus Pacquiao for what, 6-7 years? Way longer than they should have, but it made $600 million. So we can complain all we want, but the fact is, as long as it keeps making money to marinate, they're going to keep marinating, and it's going to make money to marinate. So I think we can get it in 2020, though. If Errol Spence can go on that tear, like I was saying, collect those belts, then I think we're going to be able to have a real unification fight for all the belts at welterweight coming soon.
All I can say is that the fighters are giving the ones that are clean, the ones that are doing it the right way, they're giving it all they have to make sure that our fans out there get their money's worth. A lot of these fights, they're not easy. Like we said before, some fighters, can raise the bar, can overcome their opponent. But sometimes, even if you don't win the fight, if you look competitive enough, where people say he competed to the best level and he gave the champion a good run for his money, like when Pacquiao beat Juan Manuel Marquez. I mean, the first fight which I referee, I had the honor of refereeing, was a draw. But they fought 4 times. Every time they fought, Marquez, who lost the second one, lost the third one, everybody said, wow, what's going on here? But you know what? They were competitive fights, and they sold every fight up until the last one where Marquez ended up knocking out Pacquiao out cold.
Yeah,
and,
one of the craziest knockouts we've ever seen. I mean, just a good night.
So, I mean, but we got to take off our hats to the fighters who come to compete and give it all they have. They're not looking for a sore spot in the ring. They're looking to give it all they got. You got to kill some of these guys before they cave in. But there's times when your body tells you one thing. Amir Khan, unfortunately.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, because who's a guy who we've always talked about as a true heart of the lion.
Yeah,
he doesn't go down. He keeps on swinging.
He's not a quitter. Nothing.
But what happened this weekend, Joe? You want to explain to people?
This weekend, well, he was losing. Obviously, he was losing to Terrence Crawford. I mean, it was competitive. I mean, when he got knocked out in the first round, I said, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, he don't have it. He's going to get stopped real early.
No, he got caught way too easily.
He got caught with that right hand. Bam. That was it.
The left with the finisher.
Yeah, the left hand put it. So Amir Khan has seen his better days. He gave the world, the United Kingdom, and all the world boxing the best fights. I mean, he's in there with the best. He didn't dodge anybody. He fought them all. And I remember I had the honor of refereeing him against Marcos Maidana from Argentina here in Las Vegas. And I remember him putting Marcos Maidana down with a left hook to the body.
Yeah, big liver shot.
It was a great fight. But we're talking about 7, 8, 9 years ago.
Yeah.
We're talking about what happened Saturday night. You've seen the best of Amir Khan. Great fighter, great person. I would love to see him stay in boxing at another position, whether it's a promoter, whether it's a commentator, something, because he knows the sport. He's very well loved by fans in the United Kingdom and all over the world. So he'd be a person that they should consider for something behind the mic or in front of a camera to do something, be a color commentator. He's got it all. He's real sharp, good-looking guy, and knows his boxing inside out.
I like that, Joe. I like that a lot. You know, out of all the big names we had this weekend, we had Terrence Crawford, Amir Khan, Danny Garcia, Adrian Granado, Shakur Stevenson, Felix Verdejo, Teofimo Lopez, all these big boxing names. One thing that we didn't really have was a 50-50 fight. We didn't have a fight where it could have gone either way. We didn't really feel like – we felt like we were watching showcase fights for everybody. But this Friday on DAZN, we have Srisaket Sor Rungvisai, a gentleman who you named in your top 10 pound for pound and who most people have in their top 10 pound for pound, versus Juan Francisco Estrada. And they fought an absolute war in their last fight, a banger of a matchup.
Right. And now
one that I believe you said you scored for Estrada. And a lot of people felt that way as well. They have a big rematch coming this Friday on DAZN. What do you expect to see out of this fight? I mean, this is going to be an absolute war, right? It's going to be exciting, a Fight of the Year candidate. Are you excited for this rematch?
I'm excited for it because it reminds me of the Pacquiao's and Juan Manuel Marquez fights. I remember Ali with Joe Frazier. I mean, there's a great fighter. I mean, he's a great fighter. I mean, this is going to be a good one for the fight. You can't miss this one on DAZN. And the fans out there asking about Amir Khan for Hall of Fame eventually, yes. He definitely is a candidate for the Hall of Fame, and that'll come 5 years after he retired. Is when you get nominated.
I think he definitely is. And I think if you tell the story of boxing, and I'm not a voter, you're a voter.
No, he'll definitely be in there.
I think so too.
In reference to that, so when they decide to select the fighters, 5 years.
First ballot, you think?
After he retired. First ballot after he retired. I don't know if he'll be first ballot.
Depends on who his class is, right?
Yeah, exactly. But if
He'll be in there.
That'll be 5 years after he retires.
Whenever he retires.
As a fighter, yes.
Another question on that undercard, on that DAZN undercard. We got a good friend of the show, one of the first guests we ever had on here, Jesse Vargas, is going to be making his 154-pound debut, but at a catch weight of, I think, 150, 152, something like that. Do you think moving up was the right move for him? And do you think Humberto Soto is a great first opponent for him at junior middleweight?
I think he's the perfect. Humberto Soto is a great fighter, has a good resume. Jesse Vargas is growing out of his body. I mean, he has to go to another division, 147. When you start growing out of your weight class, he's struggling to make 147. That it's time to step up.
Well, he's definitely struggling. Let me ask a serious question, because and we love Jesse Vargas. He's one of my absolute favorite people on the planet. Incredibly nice, super good friend of the show. One of my favorite people to talk on here, and one of my favorite, most exciting fighters. But every time he's had to step up in competition, right? Be it Pacquiao, Bradley, even Broner, who he fought to a draw. And he fought his last fight at 147, also to a draw. He hasn't been able to get over that hump. Does this feel like he moved up to get away from those sharks at 147?
No.
Or do you think he moved up because his body was too big?
I think he moved up because he was not as strong at 147 as the way he was when he was younger. See, when your body starts to mature,
you deplete your resources.
Yeah. If you start watching that weight, you almost starve yourself to make 147. When you go to that ring, you're not really feeling the strength that you should have. You're weak. You made it to 147, but your body's not 100% as far as strength is concerned. So I think going to 154, you're going to see a different Jesse Vargas out there. You're going to see that he's going to have something to bring to the 154-pound division.
Yeah, I like that, man. We've always liked Jesse, and I'd like to see him continue to, continue to impress, because he's a guy who's taken on every competitor, always. He's kind of that level, that line at 147. If you're better than Jesse Vargas, then you're probably competing for world championships. Yeah. If you're worse than Jesse Vargas, then you're kind of a stepping stone. He's like in football they call it the Andy Dalton line. It's kind of the 147 as the Jesse Vargas line. He's the gatekeeper right there.
Yeah, just like last night, the Golden Knights. They were hoping for the Golden Knights to get that win. Boom, they didn't get it. Now it's 3-3. And the Tuesday night, tomorrow night.
Was that one of the worst things you ever? I mean, that was just horrific.
Yeah, everybody's wearing
double overtime. We get a power play, and they shoot a wrist shot from half ice. Unbelievable.
Yeah, well, anyway, that's what happens in the sports. Well, anything can happen in sport, but fans out there, and people ask, does Danny Garcia have a chance in Texas?
What does that mean?
Well, somebody's talking about something in the past. I mean, he just beat this guy in last Saturday night.
Yeah, he looked great against Adrian Granados. He looked great.
Yeah.
I mean, he absolutely he was incredibly impressive.
Danny Garcia have a chance in Texas card. Well, it depends. I mean, he has a chance any place he goes. I mean, Texas has boxing. I mean, there's boxing in Texas, boxing all over the world.
There's a ton of boxing in Texas right now. They've been doing great.
Is that not that he has have a chance in Texas or wherever the fan is actually just now? A fighter, if you give it all you got, and the right judges are in place, the right officials, you have a chance to win any place. So Danny Garcia is definitely up there in the top 10, but he's a tough competition where you got Sean Porter.
Yeah, when you got those
Keith Thurman, or Earl Spence Jr. I mean, he's up against some tough fighters.
Oh my goodness, yes. Remember, guys, next week we're going to be doing a fight preview for the big Cuatro de Mayo event, the big probably fight of the year in the sense of event level, and that's obviously Canelo Alvarez versus Danny Jacobs. Right. We're all very excited about that. We'll make sure to preview that next week for you, and make sure you tune in this Friday as well. I also want to make sure I wish a happy birthday to John Edmonds of Into Boxing. A very happy birthday to him, and I just want to make sure I got those shout outs out there, because you're not going to want to miss next Monday. It's going to be a really big fight preview for us.
Yeah, fans out there, want to tell you that. Happy belated Easter.
Happy belated Easter and Passover.
Yeah, Passover. Yeah. Danny Jacobs versus Canelo Alvarez. That could be a great fight. May 4th here in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. It'll be one of the better fights. Like John just mentioned, we'll be talking about it more.
Yeah, we didn't touch on it this week because we had so much to talk about, and we're really going to dive in next week. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we're going to dive in head first, so making sure that you guys get it all.
That's a big one. Yeah, so make sure you take notes. so you can talk to your friends at fight night and you sound real smart. That's what we always,
and you know, we like for your fans out there to try to share our show. If you like our show, share it.
Please.
You know, and like it. So this way we get more fans around the world to listen to our Undisputed Boxing Talk Show.
More fans means more questions, means more answers, means better content for you guys.
And we love it. We love it for our passion. We do this because of the passion we have for the sport of boxing. And of course, we want to make sure you guys get always be satisfied with the results of boxing, what's going on with the fighters. We'll try to keep you up to date with what's going on. And all I can tell you guys is from now on, like I always tell you guys, I don't care what you got, what problems you're going through. Keep your guards up at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. And remember, I'm fair, but I'm firm most of the time, right?
Yeah, you are. Yes, sir.
Okay, guys, you take care. God bless. Catch you guys next week.